what if Texas decided it was time to go its own way? In today's video, we're diving deep into a theoretical scenario where Texas secedes from the United States. How would it happen? What would the consequences be? And most importantly, could the Lone Star State really pull it off? Let's find out. To understand why Texas might be a prime candidate for secession, we need to rewind and look at what makes Texas so unique. Texas isn't just another state, it was once its own country. From 1836 to 1845, Texas was an independent republic before it voluntarily joined the United States. This history of independence is deeply ingrained in Texas culture and identity. Legally, Texas has some unique quirks. When it joined the Union, it retained the right to divide into as many as 5 states if it chose to do so. Plus, Texas has its own power grid, the Electric Reliability Council of Texas, also known as ERCOT, separate from the rest of the country. This independent infrastructure shows that Texas already has some of the pieces in place for going it alone, but it's not just history and legal rights. Texas has a massive economy. If it were its own country today, it would have the 9th largest economy in the world. With its rich natural resources, strong industries, and thriving cities, Texas might just have what it takes to stand on its own. So, how could secession actually happen? Let's explore a few scenarios. Scenario 1, a peaceful negotiated exit. Texas leaders could push for a referendum, where the people of Texas vote on whether to leave the United States. If there's strong public support, Texas could then negotiate with the federal government for a peaceful separation. This would be the least disruptive path, but it's also the least likely. Scenario 2, a unilateral declaration of independence. In this scenario, Texas leaders simply declare that Texas is no longer part of the United States. This would likely lead to a tense standoff with the federal government, with potential legal battles and even military involvement. Scenario 3, a gradual erosion of federal authority. Texas could slowly chip away at federal control, passing laws that contradict federal regulations and daring the federal government to enforce them. Over time, Texas could build a parallel state apparatus that functions independently of Washington, D.C. Each of these scenarios has its own risks and challenges, but they all point to one thing: secession wouldn't be easy. Now let's talk about how other political players might react using some basic game theory. First, the U.S. government. Washington would almost certainly oppose any attempt at secession. The federal government might respond with legal challenges, economic sanctions, or even military intervention to maintain the Union. The stakes would be incredibly high. If Texas succeeded, it could encourage other states or regions to follow suit. Next, we have the other states. Some states might support Texas out of a shared ideological belief in states' rights, but most would likely oppose secession due to the economic and political instability it could cause. Border states in particular would be concerned about the impact on trade and security. Internationally, other countries would be watching closely. Some might recognize Texas as an independent nation, especially those that have strategic or economic interests in Texas. Others, particularly U.S. allies, would likely support the federal government to preserve stability in North America. And let's not forget the people of Texas themselves. Secession would be deeply divisive, with some Texans passionately supporting it and others just as strongly opposing it. This internal conflict could lead to political and social turmoil within Texas, regardless of what happens on the national stage. In game theory terms, secession would set off a complex chain of reactions with each player, Texas, the U.S. government, other states, and international actors, making moves that could escalate the situation in unpredictable ways. So what do you think? How likely is it that we'll see the return of the Republic of Texas? Which scenario is the most likely? Drop a comment below and let us know your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into Texas history and future possibilities, be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Lone Star Dispatch for more great Texas content.